Welcome to the InfoMullet YouTube channel. If you enjoy this content, please like or share. And if you'd like to support the InfoMullet by becoming a mulleteer, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate your support. The White House, if the White House is watching, you might want to pay attention to this next time you have a Rose Garden event or election party. What this is a risk assessment tool that is a pretty neat tool. It takes live data from the US. Hopefully this is coming across, right? It's provided, this is Georgia Tech. It takes live data across the US at the county level, and you can set your event size here. And so you can say, I want to have a 10-person event, and it will redo the chart. And what you do is you hover over any county where you're at. Like, let's see here, Walker, Georgia. This is the risk that someone positive is going to be in your group. So if you have a 10-person event, right, and you're there for, say 15 minutes, 10-person event, the chances are there's a 10% chance that you're going to have a positive person in your group. But let's say you have, like, you're the White House and you have a let's see if we can get it in between here. Okay, we'll give them a little bonus. We'll say it's a 100-person election night party in Washington D.C. You zoom in here, find Maryland, there we go. We're at Baltimore, there we go. District of Columbia, 60% chance on a 100-person event that there's at least one or more people with positive. And you can use this to understand the risk. By the way, all these really dark red places, these are high risk areas. So when you think about gatherings, the big thing with this, the 6 foot and masking rule, that is a rule for casual contact. That is a rule for in the grocery store. That is a rule for you're walking down the sidewalk. That is a rule for a short-term interaction. The way COVID-19 spreads that we know now is it basically sends droplets out that think a bit about filling the room. The longer you're in a space with more people talking, the more those particulates are going to fill the room. They're going to fill the airspace. They're going to drop onto surfaces. And this is why Thanksgiving, particularly where you're talking a multiple hour family event, is dangerous because people are going to be talking and expressing, if this was just like a 15-minute drop off something and see something, everyone's masked, that's a lot different. But if you're in a living room, even if you're 6 feet apart and you're talking for 3 hours, you got exposed to everyone in that living room. Ventilation is key here. And so what this event, and this is the link to this is below, but this lets you look at event planning. And when I first grabbed this, it wasn't nearly as bad. And so some people may have still decided to do events, but this just shows when it comes to large events and things like that, the risks get, it's kind of not, there's no distinction anymore. It's just red across the board. So you can use this tool for looking at your assessment. It doesn't go any lower than 10 people, but I would use this to evaluate gatherings in your, I get people asking me all the time in chat, like, I've got a gym I'm running, I've got this activity, how do I evaluate it? This is a good tool to help you do. He's asking about the workplace setting. Yeah. I mean, it's valid for workplace settings. There's, if you think about it, your workplace may have better air conditioning, better ventilation if it's designed as an industrial. It may have more distancing, but as a ballpark, Kay, that's not a bad tool to use for workplace settings. Just to understand, if you're in a call center and they've dropped it from 500 people in a cubicle farm down to 25, well, what's the chance that someone positive? Now remember, positive doesn't mean that you're automatically going to get it, but it's just asking how many people in that room are positive. And if you're at 60% positive, then you're like, okay, how good is the air conditioning? How good is that distancing? Did they move my desk to be right next to the person who's going to, be positive? Cafeteria and workplaces aren't just where you work, it's the elevators, right? It's I've been in buildings, I do a lot of consulting where you get in an elevator and it's got to go up 80 floors and that's a 5-minute ride, right? You're in there. Or cafeterias, Trisha's talking about buffet lines. All of these things are risk factors that are concerning. Now, I don't think the major risk is workplace. I think it's going to be schools that are still open, just because kids are monkey vector zeros. But the main thing is this holiday travel pattern, because in some ways what we're doing is we're giving pathways for areas that have high contagion to spread to others almost by a natural event, with Thanksgiving, Christmas, all sorts of celebrations coming up in the next 6 weeks. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to follow the InfoMullet, visit us on Facebook or Twitter. And if you'd like notifications when we post new video content, click on the red subscribe button below the video. If you've ever wanted to become a mulleteer and support the InfoMullet, visit us on Patreon. We appreciate the support.